South African businesses taking stock of where they find themselves to date, looking at some of these geopolitics that are playing themselves out. Most of them just taking stock of the announcement by the United States of this 30% tariff on select products from the 1st of August 2025, and just looking at how they can come up with strategies, scenarios, and plan better in ensuring that they navigate some of these global shocks. So today, you find some of those businesses here, you find legal minds here, you find those that are in accounting from Deloitte also here, sharing some of the tools that they've used to really take stock of where we find ourselves. And most of them really worried about some of the companies and the shocks that would come through in navigating the economy. South Africa, it is an emerging economy. And I'm going to bring Jacques-Paul Murray, who just joined us from CDH, who'll give us a sense of the importance of gathering all of these minds, in this space to also take stock and also plan better for these corporates. We don't want them to go under. They are important for business and the likes, job creation. So how do we actually see them navigating some of these geopolitics and the global shocks? Welcome to the SABC, Jacques-Paul. Let's reflect.
Yeah, no, thank you. I think today was an opportune time to discuss what is happening in South Africa as a consequence of what happened yesterday also with Trump announcing that 30% tariffs will be imposed on South Africa from the 1st of August. And obviously there's a number of other potential tariffs that he's also threatened South Africa and other BRICS member countries. So as we all know, yesterday the BRICS summit started in Rio de Janeiro, and part of that, the US presidency also said that any state that supports a position where there will be essentially a de-dollarization and a currency that will compete with the American dollar, they will impose tariffs. Now, obviously, those are all unilateral tariffs being imposed. There's no legal basis for that, so we can really see the rule book has been thrown out of the window. Now, what does South African companies and African companies do in respect of that? How do you navigate this continual uncertainty in respect of tariffs, in respect of trade, exporting products? Today you have the following position, tomorrow you have a different position. So today's discussion was unpacking that. So one of the key principles that the panelists discussed was, if we look at Deloitte's presentation, it's adapt. It is being resilient. It's also how do you protect ultimately your current business. And from a South African perspective, there's various mechanisms that we've unpacked, and my panel has unpacked, in terms of looking at your business. How can you restructure certain elements within your business to make sure that identifying your market, is the US one of your biggest market or not? If that's so, how do you restructure that from a trade perspective? Is there opportunities within the continent where you can potentially use the AfCFTA to tap into intra-Africa trade opportunities or investment opportunities? Are there other opportunities from a BRICS perspective that you can also tap into, either with the Chinese market or the expanded BRICS market? We now have Saudi Arabia, we have the UAE, and we have Ethiopia that has joined the BRICS grouping. So it's looking at the various scenarios, both from a local perspective in terms of your contracts, what do you need to restructure, how do you re-look at your business in terms of the various elements that ultimately makes it efficient and effective, but also looking at what is the opportunities on the continent to do that.
Yeah, it does look like it's not all doom and gloom. Thank you very much, Jacques-Paul, for joining us. Jacques-Paul coming through from CDH and looking at the work that they've been doing over time. And I'm going to bring into the conversation with us this afternoon Osbu Nolo, who will be joining us to give us a sense of how, as Siboney Capital, they are navigating some of these shocks. We find you as part of those that are here in the audience. Maybe let's start by reflecting on how have you guys been, navigating this, and what are some of the issues that you take away from this discussion today. Welcome to the SABC.
Thanks, Katlego. I think as Siboney Capital, for us, it's really being interesting to see, that the industry has come here and really shared some of our observations in the market, what we're seeing our clients go through. So the key thing is adapt. I think in such a changing environment, every day, Jacques-Paul has indicated that even as soon as last night, things can change, and we increasingly see our clients having to adapt and get experts to help them in, and that's where we come in as Siboney Capital to help our clients navigate. We find our clients having to being able to deal with a lot of information, a lot of changing information and scenarios each day. Also operating in a South African environment where policies are constantly being challenged, but also we are affected as a country by what's happening with our trading partners, the US, Europe, and increasingly our BRICS partners. So all of these changing conditions affect our clients, and certainly we need to keep all of those at the top of our minds.